Welcome to Robert's Random Ruminations, another exciting video episode for your enjoyment. Hi, and welcome to the first episode of Robert's Random Ruminations. I'm going to start the video now. MTG edition, or just me rambling on about Magic the Gathering cards. So it should be video and video, and I'm going to go small here. So you may hear me, but I may not be looking at you all the time, but I'm here. So I have a deck that I'm basically building, and it's a lot of artifacts, and as you can see. And the concept of the deck, of course, this is a commander deck, so this is 100 cards exact, no duplicates. Commander style deck is usually done for more than 2 to 3 players, but you can do it one-on-one if you choose to. It's a very different style play, and every game is guaranteed different. A little bit different than your regular MTG game of 60 cards. So first off, with a commander deck, the idea is that you're going to have a legendary creature that's going to basically be in charge of the overall deck. And so for this, no different. If I can find my cards. That are in here somewhere, I promise. They are, for real. So you'll see here a lot of the basic concept cards, a lot of artifacts. As I mentioned, this is going to be a black and white artifact deck, specifically. If I can find my creatures, and they're gone. They're completely gone. Don't know where they went. They disappeared into the sunset. Fun. Good times. Oh, you know where they are? They're in my other pile. Over here. Off screen. Alright, so, there you go, first episode, right? Alright, so you'll see here that the big thing with a commander deck is the commander has to be a legendary creature, and the deck can only be the colors of the commander. So I have a couple of choices here. It's a black and white deck, so this is a classic legendary creature. It's a knight, but it really doesn't do a lot for artifacts, which is kind of the point of the deck. So this is nice, and I'll put it in the deck because it is Death Touch and Lifelink, so that's kind of cool to have. And because there will be at least 2 other legendary creatures, I'll show you why in a minute, this is going to be a good card to have in the deck just in general. It's a little expensive, but I feel it's very much worth it. So the 2 cards, another option is the Gesture of Valor here. This guy is also flying lifelink, and when you cast your second spell, you can look at the top 3 cards of your library and put one of them in your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Now this is important for this deck, because the deck is going to play a lot of it with the graveyard. So putting stuff into my graveyard is important, and it allows me to put one in my hand as well. So it means it's a draw mechanism as well, so we'll definitely keep that in. So here's the 3 that I have. These are just regular cards. So these are the 3 choices I have. So I'm going to make it a black and white deck. So given that, these are newer commanders, you can tell by their logo. Right there. You'll see that they have the ability of, put that a nice close, partner. What this means is that a card can have another legendary creature that also has a partner with it in the deck, and they can both be the commander. Now this is an interesting style of play. Partner commanders means that you can have one commander out, you know, both commanders out. They both help the deck in some form, but they may work really well together as well. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility with your color coordination of your different commanders, and they're all fairly inexpensive. Not one of them alone is powerful, but together they can be powerful, and depending on your concept of your deck, they could be really powerful. So this one is limited attacks. You can discard a card that kind of plays into that graveyard concept. As I would mention, when you do, target creature defending player controls gets XX to that of turns. So basically you can kill a creature, where X is the number of artifacts you control plus the number of artifact cards in your graveyard. So this is really good because you can basically destroy almost any creature on the opponent's side, and it's not destroy target creature. It's giving them minus counters. So unless they have hexproof, you basically can destroy almost anything on the board, even if it's indestructible. So that's a key thing. So you can basically use this in an artifact deck because I'll have a lot of artifacts in play, and because I'm discarding cards, I can also basically have a lot of artifacts in my graveyard. Both work really well. So that's good stuff there. Now the other black card I have, which I would say isn't as good, is a sacrifice 3 other artifacts and or creatures. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 2 of them in your hand and the other in your graveyard. This is a straight grave play, so it just could literally make stuff go into your graveyard. So yeah, you can bring them back, and yeah, that's fine. but it's a lot of cards going in your graveyard. So you have to sacrifice 3 and then put another 1. So you're putting 4 cards in your graveyard to draw 2 cards. Not great. Now this works really well if you have an artifact deck or a creature deck where there's a lot of tokens coming into play. You know, little 1/1 token creatures, because you get to sacrifice them. Nobody cares to draw cards. Great, no, but is it something? So sacrifice decks. So nice, not great though. So I'm gonna maybe put that in the deck as just another way of drawing cards and a little mechanism if I need it, but I'm not sure yet. The white card that I have, and the only one I have right now, is going to be this, the Architect of Ascension. Now, this is really nice because this, artifacts you control have protection from each converted mana cost among artifacts you control, meaning it has protection. So all artifacts will have protection from converted mana costs. So that's kind of nice for the cards to have in play. Now, it does kind of go against the sacrifice my stuff, but I'm discarding a card, so it doesn't matter. So it doesn't affect the actual artifacts, where this card here actually says it has to artifact creatures and our artifacts in play. So this would affect it. So this is a good combination. Allows me to discard a card and still have the effect go off of giving destroying a target player's creature, a target player's creature. Where this gives my artifacts and my artifact creatures protection. So it's artifacts. So it's artifacts and artifact creatures. So of course in the deck there's going to be a lot of artifact and artifact creatures. So that's an intro to the deck. Next time we'll go through the more detailed version and kind of go through each of the pieces of the deck and kind of look at cards. So we'll see you guys then. And that's another episode of Robert's Random Ruminations. Follow me on my blog at robertsrandomruminations.wordpress.com and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And of course, like and subscribe right here. We'll see you